What's up? What's up? AWO here, Aaron Warrior. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? I see my viewership with X is going up a lot, but that's an X. I know what Buddy's gonna say. I know what Red's gonna say. Should be watching AEW. I will be. Well, but look, yeah. Right, right. So yeah, this is the finale of Last of Us season 2, 7-part episodes. Yeah. So next season, next season will be season 3. Okay. So sit back and relax. Shit. Shit, man. All right. We got a lot of talking to do today, man. A lot of talking. I mean, honestly, guys, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the finale. Personally, I thought it'd be more impactful, the finale. But I didn't feel like I don't know. I don't know how I felt about the finale. Okay? I feel like I felt like I just wanted more. Wanted more from the finale. Okay? I feel like I wanted more from the finale. I hope my friend Blinding could join me for this review of Last of Us. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below, please. Um, I mean, if you're on YouTube, right? If you're checking out my channel the first time, please subscribe and do all that, and like, share, subscribe, all of that. Membership down below, not overly expensive. There's 2 tiers, not expensive at all. Okay, so if you want to join membership, go ahead. I know this is on X. A lot of people was getting views on X. A lot of people don't really talk on X. It's not really, but whatever. I'm not calling people on X or anything like that. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. Oh, my friend Blindon comes out. I know Red. Red is kind of busy. He's probably because he's watching AEW. If this wasn't the finale of Last of Us, of season 2, I'll be watching AEW right now and NXT at the same time. So I'm gonna finish NXT after with the 2 title matches, and then tomorrow I'm gonna watch AEW Double or Nothing. Okay. So I don't expect to see Red in the chat. Understandably, I understand Red. But I expect to see Blinded in there, Blinded to be in the chat, or 56K, Sideways, Degrassi maybe. Because we gotta talk about this. This is the finale of Last of Us. Okay? And I honestly don't know how I feel about the finale. It's funny though. It's funny. Because I felt like this finale at times was all over the place. I don't know. I feel like a time the finale is all over the place with this episode. Okay. Now, okay. So I want you guys to tell me because I don't see anybody here in the chat right now. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. In the chat. Because I know Exodus is in the chat. Okay. Like, I understand why X would. I understand why Red would not be in the chat. I would. I probably wouldn't be in the chat either if it wasn't for AEW. Okay. But yeah, so a lot of I'll say a lot of dialogue in this episode. A lot of talking. Lots of talking in this episode. Okay. This. Let me add this title. We'll get more people watching. So you can clearly tell why, if you watch this finale, you can clearly tell why Chris Mason. Oh, Chris Mason, one of the writers for this show. You can clearly see why. You can clearly see why he suggested that Last of Us will need a season 4. Okay, we'll need a season 4 to conclude the second game. This episode, this season, last episode, specifically this episode, the finale, it proved it, explains it why. Okay, explained it why. It needs it needs a fourth season. Okay, it does. And so let's get with it. All right, so. Okay. They're at the fucking theater again. Dina, and Jesse, right? Dina's hurt. Is hurt, right? She has the arrow in her leg, right? That needs to be taken out, right? That needs to be taken out of her leg, right? Badly wounded, right? From episode 5, right? If you remember episode 5. She got hit in the arrow. She got hit in the leg by an arrow by one of the server fights, right? If you remember. Okay. Remember that. Remember that, guys. Okay. She got hit in. Okay. So Jesse is there, right? Jesse is there to take care of her, right? To heal up her wound. And you know the relationship between the two. obviously you know the relationship between the two, right? Dina is carrying Jesse's child. Jesse doesn't know that at the time. Jesse doesn't know that, and the conversation they have while he's helping her with the rune and stuff. He doesn't know at the time, and she doesn't mention it to to Jesse. Okay, at all. But Jesse knows that Dina is not really in love with him, that she's in love with Ellie, right? Despite Dina and Jesse have a relationship, obviously a child. Jesse doesn't know that. They have to leave Dina at the theater, right? She's all healed up, bandaged up, so she's fine, right? She just has to. It'll take time for her wound to fully heal, right? She's bandaged, no bleeding, anything like that. It can't get affected, right? To make sure bleeding stop and can't get affected, right? All right. And there's nobody in my chat. Usually, I figured there would be people in my chat today. It's okay, guys. I'm not attacking you. It's funny. Look at this. Plus 234. So I'm just waiting for Willie Blinded to get help come here, right? Blinded. And I hope the chat does get popping. Okay. Hope the chat gets popping. I figured the chat would be more popping with the season review. I know why Red is not watching. Okay. There's Anthony. See, there's one person. This is a decent season. See, decent. Good point. That's decent. See, this isn't my point. I don't think this season was as good as the first season. I'm gonna say this. I don't think the season is as good as the first season. Okay. I don't think this is as good as the first season. There's some issues this season, and I don't know where Blinded is. Okay, I gotta see something though. All right, I gotta see something. Mm. All right, all right. So, all right. See, I got a little bit of I'm ignoring something that a little. I created a little bit of a storm on X today. So, yeah, if you haven't paid attention. But all right, but okay, let's get with this. Let's right, guys. Jesse wants to take him back to Jackson, right? Wants to take him back to Jackson with Tommy. They want to regroup with Tommy, right? He wants to take it back to Jackson and regroup with Tommy, obviously, and then take him back Jackson, right? But before that, we get Dina and Ellie talking. Well, well, Dina is cleaning up the runes that Ellie has right on her back. They're talking, right? They're talking very serious, and Ellie explains the situation to Nora. Explains the situation to Nora, right? What happened when she got caught up to Nora, right? And what she did to Nora, right? She said she kept hitting Nora, got answers from Nora, but she said she didn't kill Nora. She didn't kill Nora. She said she didn't kill Nora. Um, Obviously, something worse would happen to Nora because there's the spores there, right? The spores are there. So she didn't exactly kill Nora there. She said she didn't kill Nora. She just beat her really bad, right? And you can see Ellie, the look on her face, like it's one of those looks where like, what am I doing? Like this is getting to me. It's turning. It's like it's a change. It's a look of of a person changing, right? Changing. Okay. Right. Right. So we know episode 5. She caught up to Nora at the end, right? That was episode 5, right? So we know that. Like in the game. Like in the game. So them and her, so they have to leave obviously Dina to recover, right? Dina to recover. Okay. So Jesse and Ellie go out to look for supposedly Tommy, right? Joel's brother. Joel's brother. And Jesse and Ellie start talking about Dina, specifically about Dina. And he didn't know, but he mentioned pregnancy, and he didn't exactly know. He just guessed it, and he didn't think about it. And Ellie is the one that brought out, yeah, she's pregnant. And the look on Jesse's face, that's when Ellie knew. Oh, Ellie knew. You didn't. Oh, you didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know. Oh, you didn't know. Your ass better call somebody. That's wrestling, man. That's wrestling. That y'all know. Okay. Your ass better call somebody. Okay. Blah 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 blah. All right. All right. So that's when that's when Jesse realized, yeah, she doesn't look at me like the way she looks at you, the way she looks at you, right? So Jesse kind of knows that, yeah, yeah, she's in love with you, not me. And Jesse mentions a story way back about a group of travelers that stopped in Jackson for a little bit because of, the trade, right? For the trade, right? Items and stuff, right? Things like that. Okay, because you gotta understand that Dina and Ellie relationship is very important in the game. It's gonna be very important in the future seasons going forward, right? There's certain people are gonna fucking hate it. Hate it. They're gonna call it woke and stuff like that. If you play the game, if you haven't played the game, whatever, you're gonna still understand. The people that haven't played the game, yeah, it's pretty much implied. It's pretty much shown here. People play the game, know what's gonna happen. And there's gonna be people that are gonna call it woke, but whatever. You know the joke is the woke of us. But just how this is, live with it. Okay, live with it. But okay, so and I'll wait till Blinded gets here. Blinded is usually a little bit behind on this, so maybe be here soon. This episode was only about 45 to 50 minutes long, maybe? I thought it'd be longer. I thought it'd be like at least 55 to about an hour long, right? The finale. But no, the finale is actually pretty. It's actually a pretty standardized episode, 45 to 40 to 50 minutes long. While I'm doing the stream, I'm kind of watching the Pacers blow the game to the Knicks. When I started this stream, the Pacers were killing the Knicks, and now the Knicks are leading. 20 minutes later, the Knicks are winning now. With 7 minutes left in the game, the fourth quarter. Okay. Right? So, Jesse wants to go this way, where he's supposed to tell me is, and Eddie wants to go this way where supposedly Mel and Owen are, right? And the location of potentially Abby, right? The potential location of Abby. They know the whereabouts of Abby, right? As you see in my thumbnail, as you see in my thumbnail, Seattle weather obviously is it's very stormy. It's very stormy, right, in this season. Well, I mean, particularly in this episode, thunderstorm, rain, all that, and obviously the what is it? The lake? Seattle's on the ocean, isn't it? Is it Seattle on the ocean? No, but there. I mean, I assume the lake. I assume the lakes and the islands in between Seattle and like British Columbia, between Washington State and British Columbia. I assume. I assume the yeah, the water in between those two areas. It's very stormy. Yeah, and the boat she's on is struggling. It's a boat. She's struggling with the boat. Okay, struggling the boat, and to a point where it got to a point where the struggle with the boat got serious, and she kind of tipped over the boat, and managed to float away onto like what seems like an island. But this island turns out to be where the surf. There's a forest in there. That island, right? And this. And this island turned out to be where Seraphites are, right? Seraphites. She's she's tired, not able to move, right? And just a minute. Their Seraphites were, right? Seraphites were, okay? And they were gonna, they were gonna sacrifice her. They were gonna kill her. They were gonna kill her, right? They were literally gonna hang. They had her by They hung her up by a noose around her neck. And the lady there, Seraphite, had one of those kind of like scythe things, kind of like a scythe, but not really. And you know what they do with that? They cut open up your stomach, your guts, so your guts come out, right? They're gonna do that to her. They're basically gonna, right? They're gonna kill her, sacrifice her. They're in their cult like ways. No pun intended. Okay. Okay. Right? They're gonna do that to her. And so, unfortunately, when it seemed like a loud sound, loud siren going on, the Seraphites like, stop it! The village is being attacked. I assume that's the Liberation Front, whatever the people they're in the war with, right? The PFL, whatever it's called, right? Whatever they call themselves, right? And so that's when she managed to get free because she was lucky. She was lucky, Ellie, right? Very, very lucky. Very lucky. Lucky as hell. So she managed to get off the island, back on the boat, right? Back on the boat. And yeah, and head where Mal and Owen are supposed to be. And she finds them. Finds Mal and Owen. They're looking at a map, supposed to where Abby might be, whatever. And she confronts them, telling them, "Where's Abby? Where is Abby? Just tell me, Abby. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna kill you." Well, she says she's gonna kill us anyway. She said, "I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not like you. I'm not gonna kill you." Owen doesn't believe her. He quickly has a gun, and tries to shoot Abby, but Abby quickly, a couple times, shoots Owen, but another by accident, she gets Mel in the neck, right? Mel in the neck, and she starts bleeding out through the neck, and 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 Ellie's in distraught. She's in distraught. She's not sure what to do. She's panicking, panicking, right? It also reveals that Mel was pregnant too. Okay. Let's think about so after that, Tommy and Jesse they arrive. They arrive. Okay. They arrive. They arrive and they find Ellie and they take her back to the theater. Right. Tommy's there. Tommy's there. Right. Tommy goes checks on Dina. things like that. They make sure the perfect route to go back home, right? The safest route to go back home. Jesse and Ellie get talking about how, and Tommy's like, yeah, you gotta put Ellie behind you. You gotta move forward, right? You gotta put Abby behind you and move forward, right? And she's like that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I gotta put her behind. I gotta put her behind me, right? And move on. Yeah, yeah. And that's when Tommy leaves. There's Dina, also, right? Jesse and Ellie start talking again. While that's going on, all of a sudden you hear commotion. You hear Tommy get attacked in attack, and so they run out of the main theater room, right, into the hallway, and they see a down Tommy and Abby there, right? There's Abby there, and as soon as they run through the door, Jesse just gets shot right in the face from Abby. Like in the game, the way Jesse dies in this episode is the same way he dies in the game. As soon as they bust through the door, he gets shot right in the fucking face and dies. It's pretty good. Pretty cool. Okay. Right. And I don't know if Blind is going to come on. Maybe he just finished it or watching it now. He may come on. Like, it's only 10:30, so we've only been half an hour in. So obviously, I'm not going to end this here. Yeah, but Jesse gets shot right in the face, just like in the game, and just quickly falls to the floor after getting shot, dead, right in the face, right in the head, dead, Jesse is dead, out of it, dead, and see Abby there, all startled, saying, and you, and recognizes Ellie. Like obviously Ellie recognizes her, right? And Ellie's like, I know what Joel did. I know what he did. I know he killed your father to save me. I know what he did. Please, it's me what you want, not Tommy. And she's like, you killed my friends, right? So she has another reason why to kill Ellie now. It's her friends are dead. Blames her for the death of her friends. Right? First is her father, now it's her friends. You killed my friends. You killed my friends, right? And then all of a sudden, a shot goes off, and then it goes blank. The screen goes blank, goes dark, right? Black screen. I thought it was the end of the episode, right there. I thought that was the end of the episode. Okay? When the screen goes dark like that. I thought it was the end of the episode. Okay? Okay. Then we cut to it seems like a different time period in the show. Day one, we see Abby wake up from the couch. So this happened. This is before all this shit goes down. From Abby's point of view, looks like. So you see Abby wakes up from the couch. She goes outside, and you see a football stadium. They're using a football stadium now. Everything right. They're using a football stadium, but the Seahawks used to play. Seattle Seahawks. And you see Abby, right? You see Abby there. At the end of the episode, Abby, and she just goes outside and looks over what's happening with what seems like the Liberation Front, whatever, right? Or the Fireflies, whatever you want, right? And then the season ends there with Abby. Season 2 ends there with Abby. Okay. So speculation is that well, not rumor, speculation. Rumor. I think it's concrete that season 3, because there's going to be season 3, and I think there will definitely be a season 4, because season 4 definitely has to conclude game two, the second game, because it seems like season 3, based on this ending, is going to fabulously focus on Abby's point of view, Abby's side of things. How's Degrassi? I'm in a cult now, guys. The cult. I'm in a cult. But yeah, it seems like season 3 will focus on Abby now. I don't. Would anybody care? 4 years, 2 years? That's a good question. That's a good question, Degrassi. That's a good question. That's what I'm something going to answer. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So season 3 is going to be from Abby's point of view. Okay. It sounds like Abby's point of view. From okay. Okay. With Kate and Denver being the focus point. I guess it makes sense. They want obviously season 4 is going to be the culmination of the ending of Abby and Ellie's story together, right? They want to focus episode season 2 on Ellie, and then season 3 on Abby, and then conclude in season 4 together when they both stories come to fruition. I guess it makes sense. Obviously, it sounds like the plan. When they get a season 4 green lit, if anybody will care in 4 years, because season 4 will be in 4 years. If it goes the same cycle, man, like every 2 years. I don't know why it's every 2 years. Game of Thrones never had a 2 year thing, except for the final season. They had 2 years. Game of Thrones never did 2 years. Uh, whatever. They never had 2 years. 2 years has become a relatively kind of new, like a really common thing now. Really common thing with streaming. For some reason, 2 years. 2 years. It's become quite common with streaming. It's every 2 years now. You could do it in 1 year. You could do this. You could do all 4 seasons in 1 year. Game of Thrones did it. I think Sopranos did. Back in the day, I guess I don't know why they do 2 years. Don't tell me it's actors and actors' schedules not that. Maybe it's just cost of production, possibly. Go look back. Okay. Heck. Shows that did 15 to 20 episodes a season did shows every single year. Film every single year. Heck, CW shows that have like 15 to 20 episodes kept filming while that season they're filming for was airing. Like, it can be done. I don't know why it's become such a 2 year thing. Maybe Degrassi probably has a better idea. I just think I don't know why it's become like every 2 years it has to be. There's a new next season. I mean, sometimes it's 3 years. Sometimes it's 3 years. Peacemaker 3.5 years. Sometimes it's 3 years. I don't know why. It's just it is. It's how it is. Okay. The question is, will anybody care why that happens, Degrassi? Would anybody care? Would anybody care if that happens? That's the question. That's the question. Would anybody care? Because it's a good question because season 1 was a great season. But I'll say this. Season 2, it felt like a downgrade. And no, it's not the it's not because of less screen time Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. It's not because of that. Okay? Okay? It's not because they didn't have Pedro Pascal for most of season 2. I mean, they had him kind of a lot for season 2, right? One episode focused a lot on him. They kind of still have him a lot for this. I mean, if people that work for critics websites like Variety or like Deadline or whatever, when they review movies or TV shows, if you work online on YouTube, you're a critic on YouTube, right? YouTube. Before the show comes out, before they announce this show, which wasn't announced, did they announce this show in 2020 or 2021? Because if they announced the show in 2021, you would know by then that Joel dies in the game in 2020. So they would know ahead of time. They would know ahead of time that Joel dies. And no matter who plays Joel, all right, no matter which actor plays Joel, it still has to be the same story. Joel has to die. Okay? It can be Pedro Pascal or it can be freaking me as Joel. It wouldn't, you can't change, you can't keep him alive. That's what I'm saying. Okay? And there's some people, you know what, they should have kept Joel alive because of Pedro Pascal's star power. No. They're changing the whole direction, the whole story, everything about what makes Last of Us. Okay? In the show, they have changed some smaller things, right? They changed some small things in the show, but you can't change from the game, right? But you can't change major things from a game to a show. You can't change specifically Joel's death. You can't change that from the show to a game, from a movie to a game to a show. You can't change that. Okay. Just look at Jesse's death. You could easily change that in the show, but they decided to keep his death like game-like, just by him rushing through the door to get shot in the fucking face a couple times and he's dead. They kept that in the show. You didn't have to. But I'll say this, I'll say this. This season definitely, I felt, and it's the same people worked on the first season. Same people that worked on the first season. I definitely felt there was a downgrade from the first season. Okay, something was off about this season. Okay, something was different about the season. Okay. Now, I'm not the greatest expert. I'm not the greatest critic, right? I don't review movies like a critic does, right? Or an expert does. I just see it from my point of view. I see it from a fan point of view, right? I kind of see it more like a fan point of view. It's just, I don't know. I just couldn't connect with anybody in this show. Like anybody, okay? The point is to connect, right, with characters. I just couldn't. You couldn't connect with nobody. Nobody could connect with Ellie in this show. I thought she was annoying most of the time, and sometimes she was actually pretty not annoying, but annoying all the time. I couldn't stand her at times. Dina I like, but I just felt like Dina was she's the common sense of the group. I just don't know if there's anybody like her in this show, in this season. Okay, and I know they're not supposed to be likable characters, right? Like they're not meant to be likable characters. But there's a difference between liking characters and liking characters, right? We're not supposed to like the Joker. We're not supposed to like the Penguin. We're not supposed to like the Riddler, right? We're supposed to hate them. But when you hate villains, that means you like them, right? Oh, I want to see this villain in the movie. I want to see this villain. That means you like the villain, right? It's like wrestling. Degrassi gets this, like wrestling. You want to see the heel because you like the heel, right? You like the heel, and there's heels you don't like. That's why I see, right? There's like and there's like, right? We like Doctor Doom. We want to see Doctor Doom, Avengers Doomsday. We want to hate him, but when you hate a villain in a movie or entertainment or a movie or TV or thing, that means you actually like the villain, right? Degrassi says it's best. The villain, Degrassi knows best, because Degrassi knows he watches wrestling. If a heel is getting a reaction from the crowd, they're doing something right. Okay, Degrassi knows what I'm talking about. You want to see this heel beat up because you hate the heel, but you really like the heel because, right? You get my point. Degrassi gets my point. He knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if he's in the chat still, but he understands my point. Okay, but this show, I don't know if it's the writing or it's it's just something off of the show. And me and Blinded have definitely not last week's stream, but episode 5 stream 2 weeks ago, I think it was. We definitely felt that it's taking a step back, this show. Oh, what's that, Degrassi? Oh, I don't know. I'm just talking about how there's nobody you really nobody how in this season you could connect with. No character you connect with. No character that makes you want to like them. Like them. Like, okay? Like, you just didn't feel for anybody in this season. Okay? It's just I don't know. I felt like they took the reins. They decided to pull the reins back a little bit on this season compared to the first season. I felt like just because of the game, I think Blinders felt like they with the game compared to this season, I felt like they couldn't exactly like make it the second game this season. They felt like they had to change a lot from the game. I felt like they pulled a lot of the reins that made the game good, and talked about this to impress a TV audience. Which, you know what, I understand because there's gonna be people that never played the game that's gonna watch this, and TV has their ways of how to produce a show and what works, and video games have their way, right, how to produce a video game, right? Reed Richards is gonna make Joel Miller look like a pussy. I think Joel Miller is a pussy. I mean, Reed Richards has always been a pussy. Okay, it's just I don't know about this writing. I understand for season 3 they're gonna do it from Abby's point of view. And they might think the thing about season 3, they might make you like Abby a lot more than Ellie. And I don't know if it's a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing too, right? But Ellie, so they're completely changing Ellie is not. It's gonna be. They're gonna. Oh, yeah, that's true, Degrassi. That's true. So they're clearly making Ellie and Abby co-protagonists, right? Co-protagonists of the season 3 and 4 too, but antagonists to each other, if that makes sense, right? The co-protagonists and pro-antagonists, right? to each other, right? Oh, Blind just finished it, right? That's what they're doing here. Blind's gonna come in. I will be on it, I guess. Oh, Blind doesn't sound happy. That's what it sounds like. Don't worry, you can join the cult, Blind. The cult. Join the cult. Okay. I know. USA. We get USA TV in Canada now. They have some. They have some HBO shows on USA here in Canada. I don't know. For example, let me see. You're going to have to work together. What's a good what's a good Dark Side of the Ring is on USA for some reason. Yeah. I'll be on, I guess. I'll be on, I guess. You're going to have to work together. Abby and the kid, not Lev, will have to save Ellie. I'm just laughing at something. Okay. And so right, so like I can see that. I'm gonna say this. This show is gonna lose viewers. Lose viewers. You're gonna go forward with season 3, but I'm sorry, but this show is gonna completely lose viewership. It's gonna lose viewership. I guarantee you, the finale to this episode is gonna be down when we ever get the ratings. I think this show, the ratings for this show, whatever legit ratings charts we gonna use, it'll be down from season 1. I think it'll be down from season 1. To compare the finale from this episode to last year's the first season episode, it's gonna be down. Oh, here's Blinded. Want to join the cult?
I guess if you want to talk about that first, I will be retiring from roasting Jarbo, I guess.
It's funny. I don't know, like about the cult. And he's the one, and I'm just gonna say he's the one that goes. Him and others are the one that go to Walmart to try to prove a point. Oh, look at us! The Superman figures are not in stock. I mean, and I'm in a cult.
I don't know. I think there's something. I think he's clearly bothered by everybody ragging on him and shit. So I'm just gonna not say anything about it anymore.
Well, you should just.
Because yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Just give me some weird vibe. So I'm not even gonna say anything about him anymore. The movie could flop. I wouldn't. It's not gonna bother me.
No, exactly. It won't bother me either. I'll just talk about it. I'll be honest. I'll talk about it.
The movie could be bad, and it's not gonna bother me. So I don't know how. It doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't even fucking matter. It's all just stupid. Yeah, the Bureau of Blindeds. Yeah, apparently he's like I don't know. I guess he does search his name.
That's my guess. You could do that on X. They have a search, so you could do that. Just type in your name, you'll yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, but you didn't use his name though. You used all the hashtags and joke names.
Well, the hashtag that I used was Degrassi came up with.
Yeah, I mean Listen, he hasn't I don't even really want to say this. I won't even say it. So just forget about it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna mention him or Sean. I think those all this over a fucking comic book movie. You guys can't take a fucking. Well, I mean, it really wasn't a joke, but at the same time, it was a joke because you guys just say the stupidest shit. You
Yeah.
guys say the dumbest things, and you take it way too fucking personal. That's really it. All because of a fucking comic book, literal for kids. You know what I mean? Like Superman, and you guys are sitting there fucking trying to do rage bait. You guys don't even get views. You guys don't even have a built-in audience who even really agrees with you. And then you take this shit way too personal. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna say anything
No.
anymore. I'm not gonna be trolling because even though it was funny, but I can see he's genuinely bothered by this. He's bothered by this. So, you know, if I was in his position, knowing his history, I guess I would be bothered too. But I'm not him, and I probably would have done something totally different. Given my fucking, you know, everybody would have done something different. We all have different life experiences, but I don't know. It's just, I just thought today that part was funny. It was funny and sad, and I was like, genuinely, I was like, damn. You know what? Maybe this guy is bothered by this, or he's fed up with
Yeah.
everybody talking about him or poking fun at him when he talks about this
You know,
movie.
here's a solution. Don't talk about it until the movie is getting close to coming out, or is
Well,
it?
I would say
I don't.
don't just like if you don't like the movie or you got problems with the movie, make it known and then move on. You know, like that's really it. I mean, what else is there to say about the movie?
Yeah.
We only have like two, three trailers. Um, like I don't know. I don't know. So, listen, he has
Well,
a
I know.
history of doing shit like that where he starts
Well,
blaming all this different stuff. He's not no
well,
he listen, not no one is fucking the most stable person, but for someone who's always on the internet and quote unquote has made this his career, I don't think he's ever learned. I don't think he's ever learned to
I'll just
develop
say this.
fucking
I'll
thick
just say
skin
this.
or just move on.
I'll just say this. I seen Superman stuff on sale on the merchant being sold. I haven't seen Fantastic Four. I can't buy Fantastic Four Funkos. They're not on sale yet. But
Mm.
Superman is. I'm just saying.
I just
Um,
thought it was genuinely funny until like yeah, I don't know that whole tweet he sent to Aaron and he just
I don't think it was that. I don't think it was really that harsh, honestly, because he could have really been harsh.
well, what the hell was he
Like it
even
could have
talking
been.
about though? And the part that to me, I know you're like, oh, it wasn't as harsh. The part is that you don't even follow him and he found the shit. So he so that already tells
Yeah.
you that he's like looking up this shit. And that's what I mean, that he's bothered by
Yeah,
it.
vanity search. It's called a vanity search. A lot of people do it, man. They just type the name
Yeah,
in
but
the
that's
search bar
not
on X.
listen. People are always gonna say something about you like who the fuck cares,
I
right? Like
know.
but it's I just think it's was weird where it's like, oh yeah, we're in our own bubble. We do roast him. You didn't tag him, and there he is. I just thought that was weird. And knowing his history and what he
I want to see
does,
a very live block.
I just thought it
That's what
was
I want to.
I was like, man, maybe he is genuinely bothered by this. I mean, when he I saw that clip where he's yelling at Degrassi, he sounds incredibly fucking like pissed off. Like he's actually like upset, which fair enough, okay. So yeah,
I
I'm
just
not
want to know if
gonna be
there's live.
saying we're talking about him. We're doing any trolling or fucking joking around because he's
I
not the most stable person, I guess.
I want to see Urge Live block me yet because I did
I did
tweet
too.
him.
It's just funny. I hate Twitter so much where I just say random shit because I don't fucking care. It's just funny to me.
I
It
know.
really is. Like people on there are so fucking
I
ass hurt. They're so fucking bitter and angry and negative and shit.
I
So
see. So I know you got blocked for saying something about
yeah, I said
Diddy.
Diddy wants to ice number three because he doesn't have toilet paper to wipe his ass
Three.
with.
Yeah, I put Diddy's gonna need all the Whippaverse merchandise
Mhm.
to sell to decorate it or something like
He's a
that.
he's a fucking bully. A bully bullies. It's my specialty. He's a bully. He's
Oh,
a
by the way,
cry bully. That's what he is. He's a cry bully.
yeah,
He bullies people. He says all this talk. He says, "Oh, I'm not hurt by people," and all these things he says. But then he's looking up his name. He gets incredibly upset and mad and aggravated by people. Like you know what I mean? Like it's weird. And
yeah,
to be honest, I think that
yeah.
is just who he is. And if I was to be in his shoes, I would be like, ah, yeah, I guess maybe I would be pissed off, right? I mean, he was trolled relentlessly for more than fucking a decade. So I can be somewhat sympathetic, but but the thing is, it's like, dude, why do you if you don't want a fucking target on your back, why do you paint one on your back? You know what I mean? Like, why do you like you are ready to kick the hornet's nest, but you're not ready to fucking face the consequence?
What the sympathy
That's the
like?
part I don't understand about him. That's what I would genuinely ask him. That's why I actually want to talk to him. Like, why do you kick the hornet's nest and then you cry when you get stung? You know, like
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah, like, don't.
No, cause and then you're talking about all this cult stuff. Like, dude, like no one is fucking really. This could have been any fucking movie. We would have relentlessly just went after you because it's funny because you have a weird fucking reaction to a comic book movie. Like it's just weird. You're all over the place. You go from one place to another. You say, "Oh, I don't want the movie to fail." You blah blah blah. You constantly post about the movie. Constantly say all these things that are just they're not true at all. And then yet when
When
people point that out, you're ready to call them,
when you
oh, you guys are part
when
of
you
some fucking
when you
cult.
go to
Like what?
freaking Walmart and say, "Oh, I haven't seen any Superman merchandise on anywhere on stock," that's cult-like behavior. I'm sorry.
What the fucking listen, cult like behavior is never like first off one, it's just a fucking buzzword that
Yeah.
you're just saying and painting out where it's like, listen, if he genuine listen, I don't even really care if he hates the movie or not. It's just the inconsistency and the weird obsession about the movie and him talking about it all the time, which makes it funny. That's really it. I just find it amusing. That's why people have relentlessly made fun of him is because they find it funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
All right,
really it.
man.
I just find it funny. So, yeah, I mean if he was to listen to this, I would tell him that. I find it funny. That's really it. So, yeah, classic trait of someone who has a narcissistic personality disorder. Man, I don't know. I don't know all his business, but like what he puts out there, it just was like, you know what? Okay, I guess I'll back off. I mean, it was funny. I don't want to take it to a personal level, but you could just tell, like, I guess it does bother him in some ways. So,
Yeah. I mean, we have
yeah.
to talk about what we're here for.
Yeah, I
Um,
just want to say that. So that's my last time talking about him. I won't even,
I know you're gonna stop talking about him. You said that to me. Yeah. Take a step back.
yeah. To be honest,
Okay,
I don't even really,
I want to know something. Did Grace Randolph really have a meltdown? Is it over Avengers?
I don't know. I haven't been following Grace Randolph. I just saw she hated Stitch. I saw some people didn't like Stitch.
Oh,
I mean, I like Lilo and Stitch. I just didn't go
I thought it was
watch
over
it. I
Avengers.
saw Mission Impossible instead. Not that I didn't want to see
Okay,
Lilo and
yeah,
Stitch. I was like, I might wait until it's on Disney Plus to watch it. Because I did like Lilo and Stitch as a kid, and I saw the series and everything, but I don't know. Yeah,
yeah. I know the Grassy
yeah,
really hates Turbo the Passion. Let's talk about this episode, man. This
yeah.
is the finale. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Blind. I don't think that's a great of a finale.
Uh, I'll the finale just I'm not gonna lie, it bothered me. It was weird. It was like I know the story, but yet it bothered me. And so I have to really think about it, to be honest, whether I dislike it or
Yeah,
not. Because it's again, it's just there were some things I will like say, like what was really the point of having her boat get switch lanes where then she ends up on the island and then she goes back? Was
yeah,
that to I don't know what purpose that's gonna serve, but that to me was really random.
Did that scene really need to be in the
I'm
episode?
guessing there has to be some purpose. Well, obviously we know. I don't know if it was just
Yeah,
to set up the fact that there's a war on the island, but we saw Isaiah and his crew were already heading to the island. So I don't really know what why that scene was there. Like, what was that to establish? Because I feel like maybe it's just because I know the game and I'm like, well, what was the point of that scene? Because it's like we kind of already know.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the finale. Like I
Me
don't think
too.
it really it was more disturbing to me. Um and it was more because of the things that Ellie said to Jesse that made it more. I don't know, it made me feel like, like you're so hell bent on revenge and people are telling you, you're not looking out for other people, and then at the same time when you kill
Yeah.
people, you don't have the emotional weight to deal with it. Now again, I haven't killed anybody, so I don't fucking know, right? But
No, Mo, she can't deal with it. Like I know in the game she's
mhm.
cold. She's cold. In this, she doesn't seem as cold, right? She's like the thing is they're afraid to change her
Well,
for
they
some
make
reason
they make
compared to their
they
game version.
changed her in a way that it just it makes her more disturbing. Like then
Yeah.
she's so like blinded by this hate because it's like she's making this like
Yeah, she
conscious
doesn't.
choice of not just being like, oh, I hate the people who killed Joel, but I hate the people who don't want me to do this. And it
Yeah.
makes it not relatable. It makes it like it just makes me not like her at all. Like at all. Like when she was talking to
I'm the
Jesse, I
same.
was actually like really upset. I was actually genuinely upset at that conversation. And to be honest, I'm like, did they have a conversation like that in the game? I don't believe so. But
That's because they won. The thing is, I believe for some reason they probably want to make Jesse's death more impactful in this in the
yeah,
ending.
and that's why I said
You
it made
know.
it more disturbing to me because it,
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's like, yeah, I knew he was obviously gonna die, right? But it's like you put on so much of this where it's like, yeah, I'm like, that's why I'm like, is it
It's
is it the same emotional complexity that I have with the game, or is it just
it's a TV kind of thing.
because like the game is
I
disturbing
think
too.
it.
Like the game is like it really makes you think about some of the
I
stuff that they're doing. But here,
I think they just wanted. I think they just wanted to give more time to Jesse to make his death impactful, right? Like
yeah, but it
in this
just it just
episode.
felt it made her look reckless. It made her look
Yeah,
so
I mean, I think she was
uncaring about
reckless the
other
whole season.
people. And I'm not talking about obviously Ellie and stuff, or Ellie, Abby and her people, right? But it made her uncaring of like Dina and Tommy and all the people that were in Jackson. And
Yeah.
and then also to just be like, okay, well, this is the because it's such a change from the game. Like it's a minor change, but it's a change that makes her character, especially because she has to then go and kill her or try to kill her again.
Hmm.
I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. Like that, it's like you people along the way told you you were wrong and you were wrong, and then for some strange reason we have to wait two more seasons to even see that to
It's
see to
just
see her complete her arc.
well, we may not see much of her in the third season
No,
though.
but if they're
May
they're
not be.
talking about a four season now, which I assume if
Yeah.
you're gonna do a four season, then that's the part with the Santa Barbara stuff. But that's where her arc is finished. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious to see how they change it, but to divide it up like this, it's kind of weird. Like remember, it's one
Not, yeah.
game. You're splitting up into all these seasons. It's not multiple games.
I think the theater scene is like halfway through the second
Yeah,
game
and
with two
right. This
seasons
so
left.
where it ends. I mean, we all guessed it. We all got it right. The ending of this season is when they switch over. You see Ellie's perspective, and then the next season's going to be Abby's perspective, and probably toward the ending of Abby's
And,
perspective, we're going to see them fight in the theater.
and this show is gonna. I mean, this show is gonna make people fall in love with Abby more
I don't think
than
so.
Ellie. I'm
I
sorry.
don't think so.
You don't, you
No.
don't think so?
I think by time the show is going to be
I
said
can't
and
fall in
done,
love
this
with
is
Ellie.
my prediction, but I think people are going to respect the game more.
Oh,
That's going to be my
I just can't
prediction.
stand.
I could be wrong,
I just can't stand Ellie.
but I feel like both characters are they're going to try to make them both very unlikable. Again, we will have to see with the third season, but this is just my prediction.
It's just the. It's just that like Ellie is like she doesn't learn.
No, but it's not
She
even
killed
just
her.
about
I mean,
learning, but it's like people like tell her like, hey, like this actually hurts us too, and she's just like, no, fuck
yeah,
you, like fuck you. It's like, yeah, now you're seeing how the consequences of your action, and it just like that's what I'm saying. In the game, it was like everybody was on board to go and kill Joel, or to kill Joel, but go after Joel's killers, right, and kill them. So they kind of understand that yeah, there's a risk involved. And so you feel bad because it's like all these people died as a result of trying to get revenge, and it's like, was it worth it? But it's different when you have people along the way say we gotta go and we can't do this, right? There's a line in the sand that has been drawn now, and
yeah,
we should move on. And multiple people in this episode tell her that, and she just kind of goes, "No, I'm gonna dig my heels in the
yes.
sand, and I'm just gonna go and kill these people."
And she,
And then have that
she
emotional
did.
reaction. It just doesn't work like it did in the game, in my opinion.
She got to a point at the end of the episode where she was gonna do that, move on from Abby until the end.
Right.
Like do at the ending with this with Abby busting into the theater, um, shooting 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 Jesse and obviously beating up Tommy.
Hmm.
The thing is, now it's confirmed that she did not kill Nora, but I think she was being affected anyway by spores. The spores would have done
I,
something to her, but she did not exactly finish off Nora.
I thought she did kill Nora based on what she was saying, but because I know, yeah, the
She
spores
was beating
were
her up.
were there, but she killed her, and then she was saying how like, because Dino's like, oh, did she deserve it? And then she's like, well, not completely, right?
And
And
yeah,
that's
and
another
in
thing
the
too,
end,
right? It's like she's like telling everybody now about what Joel, or well, she told Dino what Joel did. And again, I'm gonna have to play that second game again because I really don't remember them having a conversation about all the specifics of what Joel did. Because I feel like that kind of wouldn't change your opinion about what you're doing, no? Like yeah, if Joel is this cold-blooded
yeah,
killer,
Joel.
but at this, the thing is, it's like everybody in the show felt like, oh yeah, well, oh, or Dina, I should say everybody, but Dina was like, oh yeah, we gotta go, right? And you're like, yeah, but didn't you just give this whole long speech about, oh, if my family was murdered and stuff? And you're like, they were gonna kill her. Like everybody's
Yeah,
in this weird position where it's like, yeah, would you sacrifice someone to make a cure and stuff? Like that's not like some easy like, yeah, like for sure I'll give up my loved one for it to cure the rest of the world. That's not an easy choice.
no, no.
Even if it is
Um,
100% 50-50 or whatever, right? Um and also too,
50-50
like
is
I
still a good
feel like
choice.
some of the stuff they kind of just, like in the game it was like, Ellie just kills Mel, and there's no like, oh, I didn't know, right? And then you have this whole long drawn out scene where it's like she's like, oh, you gotta remove it, you gotta remove it. And you're like, this makes this shit way
Yeah,
more fucking disturbing. And I get it, like yes, it was already disturbing, but there's like a layers to it, I feel like. Like we're here, you're just like, after all of this and what she was saying, and she's now breaking down and crying, and it's like she clearly does not understand what she's dealing with. And
no.
it's like I don't know. I'm so mixed on it. I'm
It,
really mixed on it, to be honest.
she's supposed to be. She's out for revenge, but it doesn't feel like she has. She doesn't feel like she's really out for revenge because if she was, she shouldn't break down stuff like. She shouldn't break down. Feel sorry for Mel. Like if you're out for revenge, you
I
still
think
think you
I think
don't
she
feel
should have
like that.
maybe choked up and like been like thinking, yeah, is this like I
Uh,
killed her and she's pregnant, and then obviously like yeah, that's she has an emotional reaction to what in the game, but it's like in the show it's kind of like she's like, "Oh man, like I really messed up," and all this stuff like that, and you're like every step of the way you could have turned back. It's not like in the game where it's like we're all there to get Abby, and then oh shit hits the fan, and everybody kind of she starts making regretful decisions. No, no,
mm-mm.
she could have went and with Jesse, and everything would have been fine. That would have never happened, right? And so I
Yep.
guess you could say that's the whole point, yes, but I don't know. It just makes her it
It's,
makes her
the
not
thing is,
very likable in my opinion. That's really it.
the thing is, the problem is she's consumed with revenge, but it doesn't seem like she actually is consumed with revenge in this show.
Yeah. I mean, mm,
You, when you're out for revenge, you don't act like how she acts in the first episodes of Dina. I'm sorry, you're like you don't act like
right.
that. Like I'm sorry, like if you're like Batman's all about vengeance. You think he acts like that?
Well, I mean, if you're all about revenge, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
there's obviously if you have a
you,
conscience, you'll probably be like, yeah, did I make the right decision?
yeah. I'm just saying, like if you're out for revenge, you wouldn't make smart or sarcastic jokes or remarks.
I
But
don't even I don't
you
even
wouldn't
think it
joke.
really deals with that though. I
Every
feel like it's more just
every day.
she like she's so hell bent on the revenge part, but she is not really willing to face the consequence.
I, yeah.
That was something,
It's just
yeah.
that when she was traumatized with Joel's death, she's consumed with revenge, but it didn't feel like it changed her personality. She didn't change her
Yeah, I don't
character.
know. I'm curious what the 56K warning think because I personally
I know. I think I
I'm
know.
just too mixed on it right now. Like, and I'm kind of like a little bit disturbed just
Yeah.
based on some of the things that
I
was
think I think
said.
this season was I think this season was a downgrade from the first season.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, and I don't think it really did the game justice in my opinion, like at all. I don't. I mean, we're only halfway through the story, or one. I mean, who knows what that fourth season if that is true.
It is halfway. Technically, the theater is halfway
Yeah.
through the game. So if they're gonna do episodes, if they're gonna do season 3 or 4, it's gonna be like what are they gonna do? Like a quarter of the next quarter of the game, then the final quarter of the season
Yeah,
4. What are they gonna
the
do?
Santa Barbara, that's really it. But even when you get to Santa Barbara now, you're like, you might as well just change that whole portion because it's not going to make a lot of sense. It's been
It's been
okay.
okay. And
I was watching it because of Aaron Lowell.
you don't you don't have to watch it because of me. You can watch it on I'm not your boss.
He watched it because he was curious. But Degrassi is right though. Like waiting 2 years to see what ends up happening. Like, will people even care? Like,
It's, yes. And that's a problem I have with streaming. They do that now every 2 years now. I think you could do it in 1 year. Like Game of Thrones, except for the final season, every year had a season.
Like it should have been a back-to-back
Like what?
season, and like
Yeah.
they're not based on what they're saying. It sounds like there's no third game, right? And if there is a third game, we're not getting that.
Well,
And
Degrassi thinks there will be.
if there is a third game, it's not coming out this generation. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, HBO is not going to wait for a third game to continue the
No,
series, and Warner Bros. Is not going to do
no,
that
that's gonna take way too long unless they already have the script and they just unless they want
unless
the show to premiere before the game. I don't know how that will go over well, but you know,
does it. If I remember, ending the game, Ellie and Dina do get
no,
together, but Ellie goes back to after Abby. Yeah, but the
no,
ending
they
they don't.
don't.
They don't
Yeah.
anymore, right? They break up. So obviously, obviously, what would the third game mean? They eventually make up and end up spending time
Well,
together.
I wonder what the
Like
third
that.
game would be. There's a third game. Well, I mean, if there's a third game, because they have like They have the Intergalactic game. They just canceled a recent game. There's apparently 2 other games that they're working on. So probably
Get
one
back
of
to
those other games
Uncharted.
is The Last of Us 3.
I hope it. I hope they get back to doing Uncharted. Unfortunately, like Uncharted 4 is supposed to be like the
I don't
last
even really
amazing
want
Drake.
another Uncharted game. I want them to just make new things. I like, to be honest, I don't
That's what
really care for Last of Us 3 because I don't know what, who would be the protagonist and all that stuff like that.
I know.
Yeah, I'd rather just be surprised with what they have.
I'm surprised they haven't made a new Crash Bandicoot or anything
No,
like
they
that.
can't. Well, Activision owns Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, they do
Yeah.
now? I thought it used to be
No,
Naughty
the
Dog.
Sony sold Crash Bandicoot a long time ago.
Oh. Well, Activision hasn't done anything with Naughty
Yeah,
Dog
they
with
did.
Crash
They had
Bandicoot
Crash
either.
4 what was it? A couple years ago, 2021, I think. The old
Oh well.
PlayStation is dead. I agree. The old PlayStation. All these
Well,
companies are
here's the
dead,
thing.
in my opinion.
Crash Bandicoot was supposed to be the Mario and and fuck
Mhm.
Sonic of PlayStation, right?
Mhm.
That never came. That never reached those heights.
Mm.
But that's because of what's the game that came out last year? Not. Oh shit! You know what I'm talking about. We all played it. Fuck the
Oh,
bot game. Oh
Astrobot.
my
Sorry,
god! How can I
Astrobot.
play Astrobot? Yeah, Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog PlayStation
Yeah,
here to
they're here to
stay.
stay. They're not.
Unless that's the thing.
Yeah, they're not going
Yeah,
away.
blinded. Unless it's third game. Unless it's just have a time jump. Like Ellie cannot be like. I don't want Ellie to be in her 20s.
Well, she
I
is in
want her
her
to be like in
20s at the
30s or
Santa
40s.
Barbara. She's.
I mean, okay. Okay, if the third game, I mean, like it's 30 to 40, so maybe in her 40s to
I
50s.
think
I don't know.
the only way. I mean, the story would progress if there's like a significant time jump. Um,
Yeah,
and we see the characters or I mean, again, it's not up to me. It's not. I don't know what the story would even be about, right? I'm not the person making it, but as it stands right now, I'm not like foaming at the mouth for Last of Us 3. Like if it comes, it
I
comes,
mean, it
but
took
like I'm not. I'm not.
it took 7 years,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, at this point, it's going to be
The first
taking
last,
probably more than a decade
yeah.
if we ever get one.
Well, 2013, 2020 was 7 years. If they were to announce the next Last of Us 3, it would have been announced
No, I
already
don't think
because
so. I don't think so.
it'll be like the GTA thing from
Mm.
5 to 6.
Mario just works with
Like
everything, yeah.
what's Mario? Yeah, of course, Mario, of course. Sega can never get anything right.
Mm.
Um, he used to.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, Naughty Dog makes good games and stuff, but I just feel like the story has to be there, and it really should be, in my opinion, a different perspective. Like I don't want to see just Ellie and Abby again. Like obviously it has to involve Ellie to some degree and what has gone happened, but
Isn't Last of Us 2 and basically ends Ellie's story though, right?
I feel like it kind of does. Like I don't really see the need to continue it. It's like, she kind of learns her lesson. And
yeah.
that's the problem. That's what I feel like with the season is like that payoff that she comes to or whatever payoff that they have with this. Like that's years away. That's such a long time to see a character arc pay off. Like that's why you have, a season is like one arc and you move on and you progress the larger story. But this is not the larger story, right? Like we've pretty much been like, yeah, Joel is dead. She got her revenge, and now look at the consequences. And now there's supposed to be 2 more seasons of that. Like I don't know. Like it doesn't really like it's not the same
Yeah,
as a game. It's just one game.
I think as she gets older, I would think as a 30 or 40 to a 50-year-old woman, she would obviously learn the consequences like she does in the
Yeah.
second game. Like she wouldn't forget, right?
Mm,
Like she wouldn't be like forget all about
right.
that, right? Yeah, to me, unless Last of Us 3 is like a new protagonist, a new beginning. I
Maybe.
don't know.
I
Something
mean,
like
who? Like I said, who really
uh,
knows? Like there's no real hints out of like where story went. I mean, people thought about the same thing about The Last of Us Part Two. They thought there wasn't going to be a Last of Us Part Two because it's like, well, what do you even do in a sequel, right? So that's what I mean. If they
Yeah,
were to do one, we like, yeah, I'm sure most people would have
they
never
found
guessed it, or not going to guess it.
they found they found a creative way how to do a
Hmm.
sequel, right? Like how to get to do a sequel with Abby and the father being shot by Joel. But from Last of Us Two to Last of Us Three, you don't have a kind of connection there,
No.
like from Last of Us One to Two,
Hmm.
right? No multiplayer. Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
no multiplayer.
Last of Us. You know, Last of Us would have been interesting if they had like an multiplayer game like that where you live in the community, you have to build a
Well, you
community
could
or
thank
whatever. That would
Bungie
have been
because of
interesting.
that, and look what's happening to Bungie right now.
Yeah, Bungie is shit, man.
Yeah, it's a
Fuck.
disaster at Bungie. I don't, I don't know. It's
It would be,
just this season. I feel like it was just more of a mixed bag. It was like, yeah, they were pretty close to the game, but at the same time, it was like there's things that just, mm, I don't know. You know when you just you like something too much, and it's always hard to be like to see the changes. But it's
yeah.
like they made good changes, but then it also felt like they made changes that I don't know that it didn't really honor what the game was in some ways. Like it made it more clear cut that somebody was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right? Than it being
Uh,
kind of gray and open. That's just how I feel. But yeah.
Release the air cuts turning my whatever. No, no, no. The thing is, I made the point where I think you're watching at this time. I made the point where like people that didn't play the
Hmm.
game, right? Second game at least, the second game, maybe the first game, but the second game. People that didn't like the show or didn't understand. Or they didn't like the show, or say the reason that the seasons fell off. I'm not going to watch the season because
Hmm.
Pedro Pascal's not in it anymore. I'm going to say this: it doesn't matter who's playing Joel. It could be me, blind, or Pedro Pascal. Joel needed to die.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Joel had to die.
Well, yeah, that's part of the
Okay, you
story.
can't keep him on. Yeah, it's a major part of the story. Like, okay, you could change a little bit parts of the story, a little bit about some things in the story, like they have both seasons, but a major part like that you can't change just because you didn't want to see Pedro Pascal die and not be on screen anymore. And maybe you'll stop watching it because Pedro Pascal's not on it
Hmm.
anymore. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. But no matter what, he has to die. The character has to die, no matter who's playing it.
Hmm.
No matter.
Yeah, that's a given.
Okay, no matter. Yeah. No matter,
I
guys.
I
Like
do
it's just
I will say this now that you're saying that I do kind of wish Grace Randolph stuck around and watched it because I'm sure she would have absolutely hated this entire season.
yeah, because she compares to
Well, it's
Pascal.
not even just that. I think she probably would have like absolutely just hated the fucking ending.
Yeah, I think she would too.
I'm curious. I'm
I
curious to see
I, I
people
kind of
who've
like the
not
ending.
played the game like what their reaction was, especially to Ellie. It
I
was
kind of like.
more. I was more upset by what they did to Ellie.
Yeah, I kind of like the ending. I just like how I kind of I know the game he dies like that. It's just in the show. It's kind of funny. Like, I kind look. I kind of laugh when Jesse died. He just runs through the door and gets shot. That's kind of funny,
Bruh. In
honestly.
the game,
That's funny. It's funny. No, in the
damn, what
show.
the hell in the show? I
Like,
was, I was
I know because like you just fucking open the door, you got shot like that running. I mean, I don't know. It's funny. I
after
don't know.
that
I
whole
kind of. I
conversation in
mean,
the game, I thought it was like, damn, because it was like it just happens. But
well, I think they toned down the stuff in this season
in this season,
compared to season one.
nah, that
Some
that scene
things.
at the ending, that really did bother me. I was like, did they really need to do all of that? Where they're, she's telling her to help her give birth. I was like, that just makes it really,
Oh
really.
yeah.
It's already disturbing, and then they're like, how can we push this even further? And they're like, I don't think we needed.
No, I
I
think
don't think we needed that, especially with all the stuff she was talking about and just being like, just so like, it wasn't careless. It was just so like a disrespect for other people. That stuff. bothers the fuck out of me. That was actually one of the reasons why I didn't even like No Way Home. I gotta keep it a buck because the when Peter said oh I'm trying to help you guys and shit, and you're like, but you didn't. You're not even considering their feelings. It's just like I'm gonna make the decision for you. So I hate when characters do shit like that where they go,
Well,
I'm gonna be the bigger person here, and this is on me. And you're like, yeah, but you have family and friends and all this shit like that. Like, what are they gonna think, or how are they supposed to feel? Like. So I don't know. I don't really like when characters try to be like, I'm gonna be the bigger man, and then they fucking throw themselves under the bus, or they throw everybody under the bus, and it's all like, but I'm only hurting myself. No, you're not.
I can't believe you did like No
No,
Way
I don't
Home.
like know him in that aspect of what Peter did. Like
Oh,
that pissed me off because it was like, why?
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna force you to become good.
Well, I don't care about that part. I mean, like him erasing the. Well, I mean, it was also that too, right? Helping the villains and stuff. I didn't like. I didn't think that was like totally in line with what Spider-Man would do. I feel like Spider-Man would want to help these people, but not at the jeopardy of like his aunt and shit. You know what I mean? Like that was also a little bit weird. Especially because
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
mean,
know these
I get.
people.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, you have your aunt, you have Happy Hogan, and with all these crazy villains like Doctor Octopus, Green Goblin, who's the most
Yeah, and they were
unstable
going
there,
after him. They
Electro.
were going after him, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like
I don't know.
that's see if Batman did the same thing, Batman makes sure it's in the Batcave, and that's it. Like nobody, he'll be make sure nobody cares about would be right unless they can
It's
handle like
not. It's not even
Robin or
just that though.
Nightwing,
Like I
whatever.
just don't. I don't. I just don't like when the characters are. It's all about me. It's all about me, me, me. And you're like, yeah, but like, let's be honest, right? Especially with Ellie. Ellie would have died the fucking first day. Okay,
Oh
she would have
yeah,
died the first day. She would have. Hell, her going to fucking Mel and Owen was literally by fucking fate. It was by fate because
yeah, that
she
was
would have been fucking dead on that island anyway. That was not in the game. Where she just all of a sudden is
she's
getting fucking
horrible.
abducted by the fucking Seraphites and almost died. That was like, yeah, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was like all the step of the ways. It just felt like you could have obviously turned around, and you could say that's the point. But
Well,
mm,
Degrassi, I have to ask you this because your wife, you said your wife is a big fan of Pascal.
mm,
She doesn't play the games, but didn't you tell her beforehand that he's gonna die?
I
I
don't think he
mean,
did though. I don't think he did.
I'm just you know, like
I wish it would change
what
the
is it?
game.
Because
What is 56K warning saying?
I wish I think I think for the Jesse's getting shot, I think he wants it. I think he wished to change the kept the camera
Mm.
stationary.
I mean, it was identical to the game where he runs through and then the shot of him dead. Right, so
This yeah, the Seraphites. Yeah, that scene was. How much is the war going to be big in this show? That's the thing. I mean, there is in the
oh, it's gonna
background,
be a
right? It's clearly
big
in the
part in the
background.
next season for sure.
Okay,
100%.
yeah. Well, yeah, because of
Yeah.
Abby.
That's where I think that's where
Alfred would
some of
just
the
let
things will start to change. Um,
Alfred would let a stupid girl in the back and ruin everything anyway.
you know,
Oh, but I'm sure like Spider-Man with yeah, I think Spider-Man is like, okay, I'm gonna help this guy. So I'm gonna put in gonna put this in my have him in my apartment. We're gonna help him. You know, no, I think they have him John Favreau, Happy Hogan's
yeah.
apartment. We're gonna help him. My aunt's here. We got an unstable Green Goblin here. It's gonna like you never look snap anytime. Yeah. And they know his fucking identity. Well, everybody knew his identity. And no, I think they all. Yeah, whatever. Or they got rid of his identity. I mean, he wouldn't stop talking. Doctor Strange. I'm sorry. Doctor Strange needs to be like Batman when doing that spell because Batman's very good at annoying people. When people are annoying him, he's very good at ignoring them.
Hmm.
You know, when he's doing something, when he's busy, he's very good at annoying them. I'm sorry, but Doctor Strange learn from Batman
Yeah.
because he was clearly getting annoyed,
I mean, yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, but what 56K warning is saying, yeah, I agree. Like the The next season is gonna be completely different anyway.
No sidekick. Well, because we're gonna get Lev,
Well,
right?
yeah,
We're
it
gonna get
has
Lev
really
in this next.
nothing to do with Ellie. So
Some I saw an X like today, right after the show ended. You know the after the ending when it went blank with the shot. Some people say that was not Abby. That was actually Lev who fired the shot and it went blank.
no, I think when she shoots the shot, doesn't Tommy grab the gun or something like that?
That's a
I'll
good
have to.
question.
I
I thought
definitely
that was
have to
the
go back
ending.
and play the second game. It's been such a long time. So
I thought that was the ending of the episode when we went blank, dark screen. I thought that was the ending,
yeah,
and then we just saw Abby waking up on the couch.
I wasn't totally shocked that they were just gonna cut to Abby's part because they want to make people who aren't aware that yeah, we're not gonna just end on that cliffhanger because then it would be confusing to people,
No,
right?
yeah,
What the next season would
because they
be.
want people to. And they did. I mean, they kind of let the cat in the bag that they did admit that Abby is gonna be the focus of season three.
Hmm.
They did admit that before the finale, right? They did admit that, and that's why they said he needed season four. The writer says needs a season four to conclude the
Hmm.
second game because it's gonna be focused on season three, and then both of them. It's gonna be the final season. Will probably focus on both of them together.
I mean, we'll see about
Um,
all of that because I feel like
yeah,
you might as well, in my opinion, do a 13 episode third season and just end it with the third season. Like, I don't like. What more do you need in a four season? You know what I mean? You're kind of like splitting hairs at that point. I feel like if you're gonna really do a four season,
I think either Dancing.
unless
Yeah,
you
I
unless they
think as a
really
two
want to
season.
change the Santa Barbara stuff dramatically, then yeah, fine. But I don't know. I will look up and see. I like seeing other people's reactions and stuff because it kind of makes me think twice about yeah how I felt. Because like I said, I'm still mixed on the show. Like I don't really know if I will feel this way after like some thoughts about it, or maybe even replaying the
You see
game.
what the graph. You see what the graph applied to you with the
On what?
big one video. You gotta check it out.
On Twitter?
Uh,
Okay, yeah, I'll
yeah,
have to check it out.
I. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's you know when he's getting when he's giving a speech and Batman puts on the remember he recorded what Penguin was saying when he was controlling his
Hmm.
Batmobile. Remember that when he's getting fruits and vegetables thrown out.
Hmm.
That's the thing. Oh yeah, he gave it to me too. He actually same video. So, I mean, what other major shows are coming out for HBO this next? Oh, I mean, Peacemaker. Peacemaker's a Thursday show.
Yeah, well, it was HBO Max, I guess, technically. They keep changing the damn name.
Yeah, what is it called, guys? Now, what is it called out of the states?
HBO Max.
Oh, shit! There's this. I have this football joke. Blinded for the Americans. You're not gonna like this, the Americans, but the Canadian, you blinded. You're gonna love it. Okay, football, right? The CFL they have 3 downs, and the NFL has 4 downs, right? So you have in Canada you have chances to get a first down, 10 yards, right? 10 yards, 10 yards. So you have 3 chances to get 10 yards, and in the NFL you have 4 chances. Do you know why Canada has 3 chances and why America has 4 chances? Want to know why?
Why?
Because Americans are dumber, so they need an extra
Hmm.
chance.
Hmm.
If the series ends the same way as the second game, it will be derailed as one of the worst finales ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are probably not gonna
I,
like
I
that.
I only think that because it's stretched out. Like it's like
Yeah,
I, and I was telling my friend this. It's like The Last of Us Part Two. I think was special because it was a game that you. It was just not a game. It was a story that you couldn't tell in other mediums. That's what I think made that game
no,
special. That or made the game more impactful because looking at this and you're like you have to wait between seasons. Like there was already people complaining, and I had that complaint too when you switch over to Abby and you're like, damn, it feels like you're starting a new fucking game. You know, like that was like a big criticism. So now people have to wait 2 years to see what actually happens.
Oh,
You know, in an
four,
incomplete
possibly
story, if
4 years.
incomplete, like the seasons, they're not even seasons at this point. They're like, the next season's part two of season two. That's what that is.
Pretty much. I mean, you have to wait 4 years if they're gonna conclude the show,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, 4 years.
Would anybody care in 4 years?
Yeah,
That's the thing. Because I definitely do see this show. I'm losing some viewership from season 1 to season 2.
yeah, I could see
I
that if they gotta wait for so long, for sure.
Yeah,
It should have just been, in my opinion, it should have just been a long season. That's what they should have done, and split the season. And do you know how they do A
yeah,
and
you
B
lost
on
the
Netflix? That's what they should have done here.
yeah, maybe, yeah. You know how yeah, they lost the war against us, 56K. You Americans
Mm.
lost to us in the war.
They'll eventually phase out the
And we
Max
have
portion
hockey
of the
stick.
name. So they just change it to just HBO. That would be funny. Our service now is just HBO.
HBO. HBO does, you know what? Its structure. The thing about this episode was a little bit over the
Hmm.
place. There was unnecessary stuff. I like the surf ride scene was unnecessary. I think
I'm still
that's
scratching
one of
my
the
head
reasons I
at
say this episode.
what was the point of that scene. I really am.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like why? What was that? What was that?
Yeah,
What was that?
was it
Like,
just to establish to people that there's a war on the island between the Seraphites and the, like, what?
she
I
did
don't
mention
understand
she's
what was
not
the
like
point of
them.
it.
She, she's not like the other people they're against. She did say that yelling at them. I guess that's the idea.
Yeah, I don't really
She did.
I don't know what the point of that scene was. If anybody has like their interpretation or what they feel like it might be, like, because I'm genuinely perplexed. Like, what was the point of having her do that? It was like such a. I mean, it should have, like, in all honesty, shook her up. Where it's like, oh yeah, I could have died. That was the thing. Just pissed me off about her character. Was like, she thinks she's fucking invulnerable. And I don't know if it's because of age or
Oh
some shit,
no!
but like that stuff really, it just fucking pisses me off, man. Like, wow, like you're trying to get revenge on these people, and yet you're making all these like dumbass decisions. Like, let me go on a boat. Um, in the game, it was like she was like driving around these parts of water that weren't. There was a storm coming, but there was no, you know, there was not a storm like that until the ending part of when she was starting her boat, right? And so, or at the end of
Yeah,
her destination, I should say. Ah, sorry. I'm all over the place.
yeah.
You know the scene where the boat, Degrassi, it this, the wave comes by, and so she ends up turning the boat, and she ends up on the island, and then the Seraphites
Where the
get her,
surf
and
fights are.
then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I don't like. Essentially, they're like, let her go because there's something else happening, right? The war with the wolves, right? So I'm like,
I
what was the point of that
yeah.
scene? Like, is that going to be a significant scene, or in the next season? Are we going to see those Seraphites in the battle, or was there something else? Or was there like, oh, we're just there to establish the fact that there's a war going on? Like that scene just felt so random. It was like, did you really need her to just end up on the island? Because it's like Ellie has nothing to do with the island. So
No.
I'm like confused. I'm like, I don't know what
I
changed
thought
that added
I,
at all. Like,
I thought when they do that, that was supposed to be a sacrifice or something like that, or like a cult like thing. When they did one of the last episodes, they did it as an honor thing,
yeah, well,
right?
she would have been dead, right? Holy shit, that guy threw
But
himself
she's
off the
not
map.
when the
What the fuck? Sorry.
oh about the
Yeah, some guy was
werewolves.
Hulk and he just threw himself off the map. I was like, what the hell?
What's what's the controversy with Marvel
There's a lot of
werewolves?
bullshit
There's
in
a
this
bit of
game.
controversy with
I actually want to make a video about it, but that's another story. Cause like all these people, I hate competitive games for real? Because they always fucking ruin the fucking game. Isn't that
Eventually,
how it
yeah.
happened in the game?
Yeah.
No, that did not happen in the game. Was on the boat, and she went right to the ferry and the aquarium. She
Hmm.
never got blown away on the island. Ellie never ends up on the island. So that part was just weird. It was like such a weird thing. It was like that's why I'm like, was there some significance to that in the next season? Like that
I mean, you have to.
I don't because I'm curious to see if someone else uh or is it also like me where they're like, yeah, what was the point of that scene? Because that was not in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't. It was. I mean, I was scratching my head too when I saw that scene. I'm like, what's the point of
Yeah,
this? Like,
because it was like I can understand her. I thought, to be honest, when they were doing that, I thought they were going to actually change the ending of the game, and I was kind of excited a little bit until she just got back on the boat and went back to the aquarium, and I was like,
I
what? I was like, what? Really?
didn't know Seattle had that aquarium. Ab- so how did Abby find him at the theater?
Good question. Because yeah, how did she
That's what I.
find them? Because in the game, I think it was what was it? She followed. Oh, the map. I think it was the
Oh.
map that was left behind.
Oh,
Had the
okay.
theater on it.
Well, I think what happens probably in season three, we're gonna eventually see how she gets to the theater
Yeah,
anyway.
we'll see. But I do wonder, yeah, why?
Yeah.
How did she find out? I'm guessing that they changed that, unless I don't know, unless they did drop a map or something. That would be kind of weird. But
Mm-hmm. I get. Well, we didn't see Manny in this episode. In the much of this.
no, but he's probably dead because Joel, Tommy got him.
So you think they killed him off screen?
No, you're gonna see that in the next season because that part is with Abby's section.
Oh, okay. Okay. Abby. Okay.
Yeah, he dies. Tommy kills him. Yeah, and you that's from Abby's perspective. You learn about that.
Okay. And we see the relationship between Owen and Abby, and from her point of view,
Yeah,
in
and
that,
yeah, now he's like with Mel now and stuff.
yeah, because he got
Yeah,
pregnant, obviously. Uh, yeah, so you'll see Nora back alive in season three, I
yeah.
assume.
Everybody's gonna be back alive because
'Cause-
it's restarting, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing it from day one and all that stuff.
Is it
Seems like they
day one
added
when they get back?
juice. Wait, hold on. Seems like it was only added to juice things up a bit. It does feel forced. Yeah, I don't know what like I'm just going to assume that there's some significance for that for the next season. That's all I'm gonna assume because the scene made like you could have cut that whole thing and just have her be washed
Hmm.
up at the aquarium and it would have never made a difference. You know what I mean? Like what did that even add? You know what I mean? It was just kind of like an extra bit that you could have just cut out. So that part was kind of weird. Um and that's what I mean. It was like she's going on this long trek and this like, constantly being told like turn around. And that was the part that just I
Yeah.
just don't really like. It's like just make it everybody's on the same fucking pace. Everybody wants to go and kill them. So then it's like
Yeah.
you do feel you do question yourself a little bit where you're like, yeah, actually, is this even really a good idea, right? Like to do this. Like she was definitely in the wrong, even though it's like emotionally you can understand. Here, it's like everybody emotionally was on a different page, and so and to be honest, it felt like the characters were already telling Ellie where she's gonna end up, instead of it being like we
Hmm.
eventually see how she ends up, right? Um, but again, we've played the game. We've played the game. We know how it's gonna end. We know everything. So, it's kind of hard to look at it with fresh eyes. Um,
The thing is, yeah, because if you play the game, you look at the show differently than if you never play the
Yeah,
game.
I have a
Yeah,
feeling that there's people who play the second game who don't like the season as much. Oh, and if they
sure,
do like the
sure,
season, it's because they're not like, they're not like a purist, I guess. Like maybe you could
yeah,
see what I'm saying as being more pure, like they didn't do it like this or that or whatever. But to me, I feel like the changes that they made were ones that impacted the characters enough where it's kind of it feels like it changes the
the
story
grassy,
a little bit.
the grassy you're doing, the grassy you're watching with your wife now.
Mhm.
You see what we mean when we're talking about that scene, the Seraphite
Yeah.
scene. It's maybe like 30 minutes in, 35 minutes
Yeah,
in.
you'll see. I mean, if he didn't see it yet, then you'll see what we're talking about. Because it just
Yeah,
doesn't. It's
it's
just
kind
kind
of
of random.
it's out of
Hmm.
place. Like, my guess is I don't know because they showed Isaiah too, that scene too,
Yeah, but that was a scene
and
before.
they're having yeah. So they're gonna be the fights. They're in the war with the
Hmm.
Seraphites, right? So it makes sense. I guess the only way I can say it makes sense to show the Seraphites in this episode because they're showing Isaiah and the rest of the who are they called again? Not the Firefly.
The WLF. Yeah.
The Wolf. WLF. So my guess is they show the WLF earlier in the episode. They have to show the other side too,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, it had to do with Ellie. Maybe that's my only logical
Hmm.
point I can make for that. Maybe that's the reason why. Show both sides because they showed one side in the beginning of this episode, so they show
Yeah,
the
the
other
other
side.
side we're gonna see for sure, because that part
Yeah.
is important to Abby's part.
Oh, you're at the aquarium now. So you miss? Did you talk? You know what we're talking
Yeah.
about. You saw the scene then. Yeah, you're close to the ending of the episode,
Hmm.
Degrassi.
But I'm gonna have to tune out
Very
though.
close.
I'm gonna have to log off because I'm getting tired.
Yeah. Me too, man. I'm getting tired too. I'll be back
All
Tuesday.
right, sounds good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
no more. You know who? Even the other guy. Just I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna move on. We're gonna have to find new lolcows or something, or
Hey,
just stick with Grace and
you know.
Campia.
I just want to know your thoughts, Jester Bell, because I think you were seeing. You saw Mission Possible yesterday,
Yeah,
right? So you probably didn't watch my stream. So, Jester Bell put a post. She claims that Avengers Doomsday is being moved because Thunderbolts didn't do well, Captain America, Brave New World did well, and then she says Marvel doesn't have any confidence in Fantastic Four.
yeah. Clearly, clearly, I don't believe that at all. I feel like they are confident in Fantastic Four, and they're just, it's still at the end of
It's
July. Like that's still a little bit ways off, like 2 months away.
yeah. I mean, my points are first of all they were going to plan but Thunderbolts, despite the box office
Hmm.
underperformance of that movie, they're going to move that movie no matter. They're going to move Avengers Doomsday. They knew they're going to move Avengers
Well,
Doomsday.
people,
They
yeah,
knew
like I
that.
did see Grace saying, "Oh, they're worried about Fantastic Four, and that's why they moved Avengers." And I
No,
don't really believe that at all.
they
I don't believe that at
they
all.
moved Avengers. They move Avengers because how big the production is.
I think, to be honest, they moved it because they can't get everybody's schedule. Like
That's
I
possibly the reason too.
that's what I really think. And there is some people talking about the VFX might be like delayed. Like there's still people like there's this one guy on Twitter, absolute clown, saying, "Oh, they should keep Dune and go up against Doomsday." They're not going to do that.
I saw that. I
They're
saw
not going to
that.
do that. And he's like, "Well, yes they are. Yes they are." And it's like you could fucking scream in your goddamn pillow. They're not going to do that. I mean, first off, uh, Dune would have to start shooting the end of this year.
Was they
Probably
said
not even the end of this year.
they
They
said
probably have to start that
I thought
sooner.
they said they're gonna. I thought they said they're gonna start shooting Dune in summer.
Yeah, I mean, well, if that's the case, I mean, the thing is, they might as well delay it Like to me, it felt like the movie was gonna get delayed. Like we haven't heard anything about that movie in a couple of months. I mean, they were talking about Robert Pattinson joining the movie, but was that? I don't even remember if that
Not
was
for,
official or if that was just in talks.
no, nope, not
Yeah,
official, not
exactly.
official. Just in talk.
So yeah, I feel like the movie,
Just,
like there's some stuff is gonna shift up. I'm for sure now. Like Avengers, like nobody's gonna go up against Avengers, especially if they're a big movie. Like Shrek 5. Shrek 5 is probably my guess gonna come out before Thanksgiving. They're gonna try to move that movie up because remember that movie was supposed to come out in like July or like the end of June.
it's that. I mean, the Avengers would do fine any month.
Yeah.
It could come out in January. Avengers would kill in January. It's just that December is very surprising because Marvel really hasn't released movies in
No.
December. I mean, No Way Home is. I think No Way Home might be the only December movie. Period. November they have, but December they haven't. Um, but yeah,
I mean, it also just guarantees more money.
also, yeah, also, and even though in the past Avenger movies made 2 billion, in December
It can make
it
more.
could break records because it can make more because there's no school and stuff,
Yeah, people
vacation,
could go see
you
it
know.
multiple times.
Yeah,
It's gonna probably play all the way until February. It's gonna play for a long time. So, you know,
yeah.
yeah, I don't. I mean, I wasn't even upset that it got delayed. It was kind of like,
I
all
was
right, like when it comes out, it comes
record.
out. That's really it. I'm not like foaming at the mouth to see Avengers Doomsday. I'm foaming at the mouth to see the movies that are coming out in the next 2 months. You know what I mean? Like I'm not thinking about what's
The thing
happening
is,
in the next year or 2 years.
thing is, Fantastic Four. If Fantastic Four is so good, it might. The people are gonna be like, oh my god, we have to wait a year and a half for Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, but I mean, like the same people who dislike all this stuff, they're probably just gonna keep saying that they're
Right.
not excited or whatever.
It's
It
funny
doesn't
now
matter.
because the Batman Part Two could come out before Secret Wars.
Yeah,
It used to be the other way around.
yeah,
DC gets 3 or 4 movies come out before.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
That's funny. All
yeah.
right, I think we should. Yeah, so yeah, I think we should end this because you said you're
Hmm.
tired, you want to go sleep. Um, oh yeah, for my American buddies out there, uh, happy Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
happy Memorial Day. I wish we had another fucking holiday weekend.
Yeah, me too. Make sure to like, share, subscribe.